Yo, what's up guys, D-Cell here, and today I want to talk more about counterside. In this video, I want to talk about what to focus on, what to avoid, mistakes to avoid, things like that. Things that I've learned while playing the game, and I want to give you guys some of that information. The goal of this video is, if you are a new player or somebody looking to get into counterside, after watching this video, at the end of this video, you should have a clear path and a clear focus on where to take your account and what you're doing in the game. So with that said, let's dive right into it. Okay, so the very first thing I want to talk about is Eternium. Now, Eternium is your stamina system in counterside, and this tip is the same for all gacha games. You constantly want to be below your max value. The reason why you want to be below your max value of Eternium is because you passively gain Eternium while you're below it, and you do not gain it passively if you're above it. Why this matters is if you're not getting your passive regen on your Eternium, then you are not using it efficiently. If you're using it efficiently, you're going to be able to go much further in the game much faster. So as you can see, I'm at 13,000 max value. If I leave that over max value or at max value overnight, what that means is I'm missing out on 10, 11, 12,000 of the Eternium that I can therefore spend. Okay, so definitely be aware of that. But hey, you're saying it's day one, it's day two, I'm a new player, I don't know where to dump off my Eternium. Don't worry guys, a little later in the video I'm going to help you guys with that, show you where you need to be using it, especially as a new player, where to dump your Eternium off to get the maximum benefit. And the next thing that I want to talk about is gold management. It's going to be really hard to maintain gold very early on in the game while you're building units. I suspect this is going to fall away a little bit once we get a few units built and we're not building all of them up. But how to maximize your gold usage. So let's go over to my Awakened Hilda here, and we'll go to salary negotiation, and let's do some tips about how to properly do your negotiation so you can save on gold. Okay, so let's just click on one negotiation so we can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so when you go into the salary negotiation to level your characters up, you're gonna have three different options. You're gonna have an expensive, a middle, and then a less expensive option. In general, rule of thumb, never go with the middle option. Okay, when to use the options, most of the time you're gonna want to use the right option because it has a credit cost of -10%. Okay, and you're not really going to get much loyalty from the middle. So if you don't care about loyalty and you're not building the loyalty up for that character, always go with the right option. All right, so there we go. We got a little bit of gold. As you can see, it costed me 900 instead of 1,000. So that 10% cost reduction is really good early on in the game. But when should you use the left option? Now the left option is for loyalty, so it gives you a massive loyalty bonus. You should only use the left side when you're doing a big loyalty gain. Okay, so let's just go ahead and use everything up on my Awakened Hilda here just so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, I'm gonna get plus 26 loyalty. So let's go ahead and start the negotiation. It costs 2.5 million. That's a lot, but anyways, when we're going into the negotiation, we're gonna see that the left side, yes, it's gonna cost me 3.3 million, which is 30% more credit cost, but I will get a 50% loyalty gain. So this is best used when you're using up a bunch of them all at once to get that loyalty. Okay, and on top of that, I get a 60% chance to have a great success to get even more experience. So let's go ahead and do it and see how much loyalty I get out of it. As you can see, not only did I get the great success, I'm level 93 instead of level 90. I also got 64 loyalty points instead of the 26. That is a massive increase. Okay, so that is how to maximize your gold usage. 90% of the time you're going to want to go with the cheapest option. If you're going for loyalty, use it all at once and go with the option on the left. Alrighty, and that's going to bring me to dupes. What to do with your dupes. Now the thing is you're going to want to save them for a while. A lot of the lower level dupes, you could probably use them up to get the star levels up. I don't think it matters that much, but on the units that you're actively building. Let's use my Estarossa as an example because for whatever reason, this game just gave me a ton of copies. So what you can do with your dupes is work on the limit breaking of the star levels. Now, you don't have to use dupes to do this. You can use the APT cores. However, the APT cores gets very, very expensive. So if you see that I can use my dupe here of her, and I will be able to remove the cost of that APT core and just use the gold to get the star levels up. Now, the reason why I say save your dupes is because going from 5-star to 6-star is very, very expensive. But if you have dupes at this level, you can use them to not only reduce the level required of the APT cores, if you have enough dupes, you can remove those APT cores entirely and just level them up with gold. So it's very important that you save your dupes. Okay, now this is a really, really big one here that I missed out on, unfortunately. Get yourself a mentor ASAP. And what I mean by that is if you go into your partners list, and which is your friends list, and you go to mentee, this is where you can go and pick a mentor. Get a mentor ASAP. The bonuses you get for being a mentee and having a mentor is really, really good, especially for early level progression. So definitely get that, because after level 26, you can no longer be a mentee. You can only be a mentor. So as you can see, I leveled up way too fast, and I am gonna have to have multiple mentors to get some buffs. And anyways, yeah, definitely don't miss out on the buff. Don't level so fast that you don't get your mentor, okay? So if you need a mentor, you can use me. Here's my code right here. Just put that code in the mentor search box. I'll be your mentor. It's no problem. Just make sure that you get your extra resources from it, okay, guys? Okay, and the next thing that I want to go over very, very briefly is your squad levels, how to build it up. Okay, do not build yourself too wide. This works pretty much like all gacha games. Focus on building a unit at a time and get at least 8 units built. That way you can put 4 units in one squad and 4 units in the other squad. I think having 4 built units in each squad will be able to let you do dives. You're going to be able to do most of the game with those 4 units, and then you can slowly start fleshing out your entire squad, your raid squads and things like that. But if you build them out too wide too quickly, you're going to run out of gold, you're going to run out of resources, and you're not going to be able to build them up. And there is a little bit of a trick here that we can use to level up some of the other ones without using gold, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. On this note, as you can see here, it not only has squad CP, but it has the average cost. So do not focus only on SSR units. Make sure that you're building SR units. Make sure you're building some of the R units. Keep your average cost low, okay? You want to keep it at, if possible, you want to keep it below 3, especially early on in the game. That's going to allow you to always have a unit on the battlefield. You're going to be able to swarm people in PvP. You're going to always be able to have somebody in PvE. And overall, this is going to give you a easier time in clearing content if you have an average cost that's really low, okay? It's very important that you don't just focus on SSRs, especially if you're not a whale. You're gonna have a really, really hard time just leveling up all of the SSRs, okay? So don't get distracted by the shiny. Definitely pay attention to the SR and the R characters. So let's talk about some characters really quick that I think you should focus on: SR, SSRs, and, you know, regular characters. So let's start with the SSRs first. So the very first one right off the bat is Awaken Hilda. There's so many videos out there telling you reroll for her, reroll for her. I'm not gonna go over, you know, everything. She's a good, really good, relevant defending unit. She's going to be relevant for a very, very long time because she is an awakened defender. Yeah, she's a really good unit. Reroll for her, get her if you can. The next on the list is Shifuyu. I think Shifuyu is going to be a really good PvE unit. She's going to be good for raids and future PvE content. And the reason why I say this is because she has defense shred built into her kit, right? So if you look here, every the next basic attack decreases the target's defense by 10% for 4 seconds and stuns them for 1 second. Once you get this all the way up, that defense shred goes up to 20%, and then it also activates off her special and her ultimate skills. Her ultimate skill also increases her attack speed by 30%. So overall, she's going to be a good damage dealer in PvP. She's going to be kind of bulky, have a good amount of HP, good amount of survivability, and defense shred. So overall, Shifuyu's a good unit to build. The next unit I'm going to talk about is Guyun. I think Guyun is going to be very good in PvP if she doesn't get banned. I'm not going to say much about her. She's really good DPS. She's good ranged DPS. So she's She's going to be good for your account. She will probably get overshadowed by Rosaria, who is currently on the banner as far as PvE damage goes, but nevertheless, she's good to have on your team. She's good damage. I do think she's probably going to be targeted for bans and PvP. Some more honorable mentions here is going to be Rosaria, of course. As far as the SSR goes, she's going to be very, very good PvE damage. She's going to have the range damage so she can attack flyer units. And Kyle Wong. Kyle Wong is really good. There's so many videos telling you why Kyle Wong is good. He's got the support, he's got the damage, he's got the ranged attacks. He is overall the best, probably the best pick for your SSR summons, like your the 30 summons that you get at the very beginning of the game. He's probably the most meta. Overall, a very, very strong pick. I think if you pick Kyle Wong in the beginning, you'll probably have the easiest time going forward. Okay, so let's go away from the SSR units and let's talk about some of the other units that are going to be very helpful for you to build or to have in your squad. Evelyn Keller is the very first one that comes to mind. This SR unit is amazing. She's like one of the best healers in the game. She can attack, she can heal, and she can buff your allies. So what you may not know about Evelyn Keller is once you get her ultimate skill all the way to level 5, it will increase the attack of all allies except herself for 15% for 15 seconds after her skill. This is a huge buff, so definitely don't sleep on Evelyn Keller. She's a great healer. She's a great support unit. Okay, the other person I want to talk about, let's talk about Hilda for a moment. Hilda, another, like just regular Hilda, she's going to be a pretty decent pick for PvE, and the reason why is because her passive skill will, not only does it do AoE damage around her, it will increase the attack of all of the allied counters, including herself, right? So not only does she buff herself, she buffs the people around her with extra attack damage. So yeah, this is a good pick for like raids. This is a good pick for PvE overall. Another good damage dealer SR is Kim Sobin. Kim Sobin's going to deal more and more and more damage the longer the fight goes. So another good PvE unit to build up. And another SR character that I want to shout out is going to be Lin Xian. And the reason why I want to talk about her is because her skill kit is very interesting, going to be good for PvE and maybe have some very niche applications in PvP. And the reason is her passive skill will instantly restore deployment cost after she goes on the battle. Once you get this up to level 5, it will be 2 deployment resources refunded back to you. So as you can see, she is going to be a 4 cost, but even though she's a 4 cost, if you get that skill maxed out, she's going to come out, she's effectively a 2 cost unit because she's going to refund 2 of that cost. But it gets better than that. Her ultimate skill will instantly give you 3 deployment resources. Okay, so she's really, really good for deploying a lot of units very quickly. So I think this is definitely a unit worth investing in. All right, so let's talk about a couple of rare characters that are good. I think Claudia Nelson as an R counter character is going to be very, very good. She's a good healer. The only problem with her is that's all she does, right? All she's there to do is heal. She's not going to be as good as Evelyn Keller because Evelyn can buff your units, you know, and do things like that. But Claudia is just going to be there to provide raw healing. But as that is concerned, she is a very good healer. Don't sleep on her for your squad because she can definitely give you survivability that you need. Another interesting R character that I want to talk about is Ingrid. What makes Ingrid so interesting is that she can be deployed anywhere on the field, okay? So what this means is you can build her really tanky and you can throw her anywhere on the field. So this is going to be especially useful in PvP because you can literally put her anywhere, okay? So that's very good to have. Build her tanky, and yeah, you can use her as like an interrupt of sorts. She's going to be very interesting in PvP, so don't sleep on that. I think that'll be a good R character to keep your eye out for. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about ships. And if we go to the management tab, there's 3 ships that I think are probably going to be very good for you to use early on in the game. The very first ship I want to talk about is the Gleipnir. You can get this free. This is like you get a selector ticket. You can get the Abraham or the Gleipnir. I think the Gleipnir is going to be the better of the choices because it increases all allied counters attack, okay, up to 15%. This is very, very good because for the very majority of the game, especially early on, you're probably going to be using counters instead of the mechs and the soldiers. So if you're using primarily counters on the field, this is a very, very good ship to have. And its first active skill will place a drone that will hit stun enemies, and so it provides a little bit of CC. So overall, this is probably a good ship to take to level 100. I think it's probably a safe ship to build. Another ship that you should probably build very early on is the Normandy. The Normandy will increase all ally units HP, so it gives you more survivability. It can heal itself. Overall, this is a good ship to have for PvE. I think the Normandy will help you in a lot of PvE scenarios to get those stages cleared. Okay, so yeah, definitely invest a little bit into the Normandy. And another ship to probably keep your eye out for is Under Control. You get Under Control for free, okay? And Under Control is nice because it will increase all of the ally units, all of them, not just counters, up to 12%. Okay, so I think between the Gleipnir, Normandy, and Under Control, these are 3 ships that you could probably have early on in the game and focus on them until you can get your first SSR ship. Okay, I think these ships, the Gleipnir and the Normandy especially, it should get you very, very far into the game. But what SSR should you go for first? Now, my recommendation for the first SSR ship to build and to go for is going to be the SSR Enterprise. The reason why I say the SSR Enterprise is a good first SSR ship to go for is because it can increase ally counters and mechs by 12% and the hit by 25%. It's going to include a little bit of skill haste. It's going to reduce enemies evasion for 8 seconds. And most importantly of all, the second active skill will reduce targets attack and defense by 30%. So I think as far as the loadouts and stuff like that goes, the Enterprise is going to be a really good target for most players as your first SSR ship. Now, the last thing that I want to go over as far as your account goes is where to dump your Eternium off. Okay, you're like, okay, you said don't keep your Eternium past max value, but I gotta go to sleep sometime. Where do I use my Eternium at? All right, so let's talk about that. Go into the operation, and the thing that you're gonna want to do, of course you're gonna want to clear out, the main story, of course, so you can get all the unlocks. But after that, what you really want to focus on is the side events. And if you're watching this a year from now and you're a new player, it doesn't matter what side event it is. Okay, Sweet Promotion is the side event right now, but it doesn't matter. All of these side events are going to be focused on early and new game players. Okay, so get it leveled up as high as possible. Okay, you want to try to get the hard level difficulty, 3-1 hard, because this is going to be the best stage to dump your Eternium out at. If you can only do hard 2-1, hard 1-1, or even, normal, whatever, this is where you're going to want to dump all of your Eternium out before you go to sleep. The reason for this is if you go into the event shop, you're going to get free T5 gear out of it. Okay, this is huge for a new player. If you're day 1, day 2, day 3, this equipment is going to be great. Not only that, you can get APT cores. APT cores are used for modifying the star levels. You get all sorts of goodies for level up. You get the prime training data for skills. So do not neglect on your side events. This is a huge buff for early accounts. And another quick little tip here for you guys to help level up some of your characters. Once you have used your main squad to get the highest stage possible that you can farm, go in and set up another squad that's full of units that you want to level up, because you can use these sweeps to level those units for free without using your gold. So let's go ahead and set up a squad so you can see what I'm talking about. So what we're gonna do, I don't want to put my Shifuyu in there because I don't need experience for her. So let's go ahead and put some units in that I want to make sure they get levels out of this. So you want to set up some units. Let's Kim Sobin, she's only level 3, let's level her out. Okay, so and let's put in another like level 1 character so you can see what I'm talking about. We'll put in Ingrid since I was talking about her early on in the video. All right, so with that squad set up, let's go ahead and skip the battle. We're gonna dump all of our Eternium for this video so you can see what I'm talking about. We're gonna deploy them, we're gonna skip, we're gonna hit OK, and we're gonna get all of that experience. Okay, we got a ton of account experience, we got a ton of the choco balls, which are what you're going to use to get the event shop stuff from. And as you can see, not only did I get a ton of account experience, if we go into the management tab, you can now see my Ingrid is level 37. I didn't have to use any gold to get her there. So early game, these are some good tips to have. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. Do you have any more tips that you would like to share with the community? Definitely let us know. Let me know what you thought about the video. If I missed something, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, definitely make sure to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Also, definitely follow me over at twitch.tv/d-cellgaming if you're interested in following in our live streaming adventures. So with that said, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you in the next one.